What's up, guys? This is Justin from the Board Game Losers, and today we have an unboxing of this here gem, Role Player Adventures, by Thunderworks Games. This is a essentially a dungeon crawl sort of narrated story set in the role player universe. They are just released, so I'm super excited about this. Love the role player game. I don't get to play it a lot because there's just so many games, but I do love that. And so, as a lover of role players, a lover of story, and as a lover of dungeon crawls, this is right up my alley. So this is the base game. This is the core game, and then this is also the expansion, Nephros's Judgment. So let's take a look at. We're going to take a look at both of these. We'll start with the core, and let me just tell you that these boxes are ridiculous. So the pledge on FedEx, which is who delivered it to me, was listed as, and I thought this was an honest to goodness mistake. I was like, there's no way this is 24 pounds, and it is every bit of it. Most of that weight, as you're going to see, I think is going to be the books, because there's a ton of books for scenarios and rule books and stuff like that between the two of these. But yeah, it's going to be huge. So, without further ado, let's get this baby started. We're going to start with the core, so I'm just going to set this one off over here to the side, sort of. Got a little role player mat underneath there. Yeah. So, oh gosh, it's so hard to pick up. So hard to pick up. Thick box, by the way, like constructed box. Of course, I guess with this kind of weight, it's kind of a requirement, I would say. Good Lord. Alright, so it's an empty box. No, I'm just kidding. Now this is just filler, just to keep it safe for the box top from crushing down. So let's set that to the side. Alright, so we have, these are our pads. So this is going to list your character information, and it's going to slide down into these, which we'll look at in a second. I think what I'm going to do, other than obviously scanning these first so that you have a PDF copy, I'm going to see if I can laminate these to make them dry erase to put on here, because I think that just might be so much easier to write on and not have to just keep going through the sheets of paper and then running out of sheets of paper. So that's what I'm going to do for that. So let's see. Gosh, where to start? Let's start on this side. So let's pull this out. I'm going to get these out of shrink, and then we'll take a look at those. All right, and through the magic of editing, these are unwrapped. So you can see here, these are all the same, right? All the player boards are the same. There's 4 of them. And they're essentially, I guess you would say quad. It's hard to see. So you see that slot right there? This slot right here? That is where this paper is going to slide down. So it's basically going to sit in it like that. Okay? And then that's where you put all your pictures, your card. I don't know what all this means yet, but that's where all that goes. We have a bag with the Role Player Adventure icon on it. And then we have a skill book. Different skills: charm, concealment, endurance. I don't exactly know what that means, but it's a thing. So there you go. What else we got? Okay, yeah. So this does utilize the gamer trays. So there's tons of these clear markers, and then there's some blue markers. Then you got, there's some, like, let's take these out and look at them, because they're like screen or silk printed. All right, so the back had these. So we got some sort of markers. We got a bunch of these discs that are printed like that on one side and blank on the other, and then this marker looks almost like a tint, maybe, and then it's got like the negative of that on the back. I don't know. It's weird. But the cool thing that I'm seeing And hopefully, without having looked at the book yet, to see specifically what the book says about this, I'm hoping that this will be in the book or intuitive enough. But you can see, like, this says familiar and familiar dice. This says stamina. This says XP. This says gold. So I'm hoping that all of these trays that are in here are labeled like this, so it's going to be very easy to know what goes where. And then the few that aren't, hopefully will be pretty easy to figure out. So that takes care of this tray. It has stuff all over the place. Alright, that's cool. So we'll put that to the side. We have this tray down here. Again, that gamer tray. Ooh, secret. Only open when instructed by the storybook. Okay. That's cool. Looks a little bit like another game we know, doesn't it? So, here we go. We got the same thing again, I think. Yeah, see that says Modifier. And then there's like the Modifier deck. So let me get these, a bunch of dice. Let me get these cards open, and we'll take a look at these cards and see what we got. See what we got cooking over here. All right, here we go. So I've got these uncovered. So this first set of cards are enemy cards. They're numbered on the back. I don't know if that's significant, but they are numbered. And I'm assuming this is like damage, or that's how you track damage and what dice you can roll against them. You're trying to cover these to represent combat, right? And yeah, they're all enemies. Like I said, this looks like there's 61 of those. It's a ton of enemies. We've got 4 reference cards that show us combat, how to do combat on one side, and then on the other side, it's got details on skill checks. I don't know how to do these, but that's the reference sheets. That's pretty cool. And then we have these modifier cards, which are things like all skill checks are difficulty 1. Play a weapon crazed. Play a weapon, just move 1 stamina from one of your attribute to your fatigue box. So I guess this is going to be like, I don't know if this is just for the round or what you get for that whole combat or something like that. I don't know, but there's a ton of those. There's looks like there's 38 different modifiers there. And again, so we have modifier, so that just goes in there just like that. And then we have, it says very specifically enemy. Boom, that's going to go in there like that. And of course we have a bunch of dice. What do we have here? Earn titles, hands, that says. So we have regular dice, and then of course we have the split dice, if you remember those from, I believe was it Friends and Familiar expansion in the original Role Player? Added split colored dice, so this is like a blue and a white. That's a blue and a red, green and a white, etc., etc. So they had lower numbers, but they were more like utility dice, which was pretty cool. So that's what is in there, in that one, which is nice. I'm super excited about this. We'll just go ahead and put these back in here with us. That's where they're still. I'm really excited to see what this game is going to be like. I tried to not watch a whole lot of stuff on it because I want to kind of experience it for myself. So we'll see. So then, of course, we have some more of that, which is nothing. Then there's this, and this, honestly, oh god, that's like half the way to the box. So it's going to be, looks like it's going to be maps and different books. So we'll take a look at those. We've got the Tome of Encounters. We'll take a look at that. So let me get these open, and we'll take a look at these next. All right. This baby unshrinked. There's a lot of stuff here, so let's just go through it. All right, so Storybook. So it looks like this is, okay, yeah, this has got the setup. So you can see there, setup, the adventure map, character sheets, counter tokens. And then, so this is going to walk you through the story. And I think there's supposed to be like 10. Yeah. So this is the story. So this is telling you where to go. Like if you have these keywords and adding, looks like reveal titles, maybe change favor or something like that. Looks like. And then I'm trying to find an example of, yeah. There's a whole nother book here, which is the tome. So I guess at certain times it's going to reference this other book. So you got, like I said, there should be 10 stories. So there's each adventure. So you get the Battle at Black Lake, Terran's Trophy, Outbreak in Undercity, Eye of Ulos. Let me set these over here somewhere. Set that up. Crack and Coolback. Now the cool thing is, see this Coolback. So that's the prison from Lockout. So I like how they've kind of put all these worlds together. So let me just find all the rest of these. That looks like stories. We got Bogroot Demon, Ghost Eaters of the Forgotten Forest. It's kind of a Friends and Familiars, I think. One Dragons of the Sunken City, Garlung Colossus, and Above the Dreaming Sea. And then the Venture Finale. So I think you play all 10 of those in a row, and then you get to this very long. Yeah. Beginning. Yeah. So it's going to walk you through all that. That's cool. But I mean, guys, that is thick. Like I said, that is the bulk of it. I mean, I can understand now why they have 10 different books, because that would just be, I mean, that's thick. That would be a really heavy, thick binder type deal. So we've got our actual rule book. Okay, here we go. Rest tokens, encounter tokens, title cards, discovery cards, rare familiar cards, class cards, scroll cards, enemy cards. Okay, it's going to tell you how everything works. Adventure map. Haven't got to that yet, I guess. Kind of how to set it out initially. Adventure setup. How to read the book. How to do skill checks. Combat details. Campaign progress. XP cost to do that. Adding, removing players, familiars. Icons and examples. So that's helpful. That's especially helpful. Something like that. Because sometimes those icons, like, they kind of make sense, but you're not 100% sure how, like, if you have multiple ones together, like, that says that's reroll a die, and that is any die, so that means reroll any die. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we have side quests. Really? Okay. Deathmatch at the Colosseum of Ashes. I was going to say Colossus. So there's a little side quest there. Okay. Interesting. I'm hoping they'll come out with more stuff like that for the... okay, well, there's there. Not surprising. The catalog for 2021. Trying to get their stuff. Lockup is great. I'm excited about Lockup and the expansion. Okay, so then it looks like maybe these are... Yeah, looks like these are maps. So there's going to be locations that you visit, I guess. I'm assuming. Maybe. Yeah. Battle at Black Lake. Okay, so Battle at Black Lake, Terrence Trophy. Oh, okay, so there's 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and then probably the finale. Yeah. So each one of those storybooks basically has one of these mats on it, and that's going to be, I guess, how you move around and do the things that you do. Okay, that's cool. Tome of Encounters. So I'll just flip through there. So there's specifically adventure sections, specific to, you can see, like right there, you can see that is specific to the adventure you're on. So there's all 10 adventures, plus the side quest, and places for notes. So that's cool. And then we have a divider. Somebody likes dividers. This is it. This is all of the tokens, it looks like. Yeah, this is all the cardboard tokens there are. So there are not many of those at all, which I guess is good. So, okay. That's cool. And of course, this is the party adventure sheet. So this is for keeping track of the campaign. So all the titles that you get, you know, as a party, I guess, different things matched. I don't know what it all means. But basically it is how you track as a party where everything's at. And then, of course, we have 2 more trays that are just like the other trays, and that they're labeled. So give me a second and let me pull out some of these cards, and we'll take a look at those. All right, so here they are, and I'm not going to show them to you because I don't want to spoil anything, but I can tell you that there's rare cards, there's title cards, and then there's discovery cards. And I was curious. I will show you this discovery card, a discovery card, just so that you understand. So you remember on our map for the story, we had this big map, and it had these sections, right? That was mostly blank. It just had a couple things in the center that were like landmarks or whatever. So just in quick perusal, for example, this card here, that to me, without having looked at the rules or anything, I just looked at the first couple cards to see if I could figure that out, because I can see, like, I know that's a location too. So to me, this looks like it's these cards are going to go onto those mats, and kind of like as you discover the different areas and unlock them, these cards are going to be what lays out on that mat in order to kind of unlock the map and the locations on the map. So that is that, I believe, is what that. I believe that's what that's going to be for. Now I've got to get. I guess if I put it on the right order there, that would help, as they just want to do. So that's what those are for. And then now let's take a look at these. And again, I'll do the same thing. Let me get those open. Alrighty, so I've got these separated out now. So we'll look at each of these independently. So these guys are the familiars, and they actually go in one of these earlier trays right here. So, but there's an example. Let's see here. Yeah, Ice Bear. So I'm assuming you can get those at some point. You have your little party token, which is pretty cool to move around on the board. Very good quality too. Very detailed. That may be resin, I can't tell. Then we have our classes. So you have a class, for example, there's Templar. Then on the back, it's going to give you a specific class ability that you're going to be able to use depending on your class. And there's a ton. I mean, you can see how many there are. There's a ton of these. Yeah. Then this is kind of like your, I guess, equivalent of the market deck in Role Player, but this is where you're going to have all kinds of other cards. So this is your portrait. So basically, one of the things you can do with this is you can import your Role Player hero into this game, or you can use a pre-gen. So if you choose to import your Role Player hero, they've got these generic portrait cards. So male and female, front and back. So whatever race you are, you can choose to pick those. So that's what those are. Or instead of building one, you can use this huge, enormous deck of pre-builts. So on the front, you got the picture and giving it a name, and then on the back, it's going to tell you what your stats are, the weapons and stuff you start with, and then what your class is. Or I guess that's your class. Maybe that's not your class. No, it's not class. It's what is the other thing? Is it class? No. Gosh, it's not class. What is it? Hold on. Let me look at the thing over here. No, I guess it is your class. Yeah, your class ability. So, like, for example, Wanderer. Let me see if I can find Wanderer. Okay, that's not a class. Oh, it's traits. That's what it is. I bet it's traits. Weapon, I bet it's traits. Yeah. So that one said, what, Wanderer or Courageous. So that'll tell you which one of these cards to do. So that's a ton, like I said, a ton of pre-gens. Really good artwork, too. And I think it's cool. It's got like the little cool little name there. Very thematic. I'm assuming these are all heroes and these are not. Oh yeah, there's the class. So that says like you're a human hunter, and then your trait is Wanderer. Yeah, that's what that is. So then you got your traits. Remember those from the base game. Too many bones. Role Player. We've got weapons. So we got long swords, daggers, spears, harpoon, ancestral blade. If you remember, that was a promo, I believe. Clubs, thieves' tools, flails. We've got skills like concentrate, intimidate, cure wounds, subvert, manipulate. We've got scroll. I guess these are maybe one-use somethings that I don't know, but they do have a gold cost, so I guess they're potentially purchasable in a market. And I'm assuming that you would also find them as you adventure. And then you have your armor, some rings, leather pauldron chain, grogget, all those different kinds of sets of armor there, so that's cool. I think that's it, guys. That is it for at least for the base. So let me get all this put back together, and then we will check out Nefaris's Judgment, the expansion. Alrighty, so now let's take a look at the expansion. This is called Nefaris's Judgment. This is an expansion for role players, so let's take a look in the back. So what does this add? We have an adventure book, backstory codex, backstory boards, backstory inserts, markers, alignment markers, rare cards. So in this expansion, Role Player Adventure Universe will judge each character in your parties and make personal choices, uncover the backstory, and choose your alignment. Cool. So it's kind of like enhancing the heroes to give them more depth. So let's take a look at that. So we have backstory cards. Again, it's a sheet thing. I'm assuming that, yeah, see these have the same kind of slots. So, well, since I already got one off. So what would happen normally is you take this and you would just slot it in. And so there you go. And you track your alignment there. Like I said, I think there might be enough room that I could laminate these. We'll see. Just to use dry erase, because I like marking. Like, writing on them's fine, except for what happens when you run out of this set, right? Then you got a problem. So there's the backstory boards, or backstory and alignment boards. We've got some sort of tokens. I don't know. I think these are the tokens to track your alignment down here. So you're going to move these around, just like in the base game. Baggies, because everybody likes baggies. We've got some more rare cards. There was a slot in the base box that said rare expansion. So that is probably where these go. And then a ungodly thick, every class, it looks like. Hunter, Oracle, da-da-da. Yeah, adventure stuff. Wow. Yeah. So there's 300 pages of backstory information. Good God. That's actually all that's in the box. So it's not a ton of stuff, but that is a thick boy. It's a super thick boy, actually. Yep, so we'll just incorporate this into the main box. And, yeah, that is it for the unboxing. Let's over here. Again, this was Role Player Adventures. Thunderworks games. I think this is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to playing it here on the channel. Hopefully, maybe playing through all the adventures. That would be ideal. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. This is your buddy, your friend at the table, Justin, from the Board Game Losers. Thank you guys for watching, and go play some games. Be kind to one another, as Rob Warren says. I want to attribute that. If you're not watching Rob Warren, go watch him. He's an amazing channel and a great guy, straight shooter. But I've followed him for pretty much since the beginning. Not the very, 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 very beginning, but almost since the beginning of his YouTube channel. And I would call him a friend. I've got to meet him. I've called him a couple times, and we've just been able to talk. And it's been a treat for me. So go watch him. If you have any other channels that we'd be interested in that you enjoy, let us know. Let me know what you think about Role Player Adventures in the comments. What you think about Role Player? Is this something that excites you? Or is this, maybe is this apprehensive? Is this one of the things where you're going, well, they did Role Player very well. Is this going to be that well? Let us know in the comments. But until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.